Come ride the crypto roller coaster. Up and down we go. Who knows where we're going to end up any moment? We could be on the high of the top of the roller coaster when we go to bed at night and wake up the next morning and we're at the very bottom of the trough because crypto is so big and it's so huge and it changes so rapidly. It's probably one of the most volatile of all investments you could possibly be involved in. There's a certain thrill about it and a certain terror in it all at the same time. November 2021, cryptocurrency hit an overall market valuation of $3.1 trillion. And here we are a few months later, we're 1.07 trillion. Yes, on a good day, cryptocurrency is a risky investment. For some reason, though, this area has immense attraction. There's real stories of people who now have millions in the bank and an exorbitant lifestyle based upon their cryptocurrency investment. There is no real basis for determining cryptocurrency's value. The truth of the matter is it really is volatile and it moves. With that, cryptocurrencies, I'll talk about stable coins in just a little bit. They have a high volatility relation to the traditional financial assets, equity, stocks, bonds. When you have that over here, there's a certain market and it shifts and it goes to some extent in the same rhythm. With cryptocurrency, you do not see a matching rhythm. You might have stocks going up. In the meantime, crypto's going up and down, and maybe even going up, and stocks are going up, or bonds and so on. But then other times, cryptocurrency goes up all by itself, depending how it feels. There is no relationship that people have gone and tried to find something between traditional financial assets and cryptocurrency. There is a relationship between cryptocurrencies among themselves. Now, there's a historical return is that when the general market goes up, but keep in mind, there's 12,000 different kinds of cryptocurrency out there. So you have that aspect of it. They all tend to go and they shift. But you can also see, if you watch closely on your phone, because literally you can watch the entire marketplace on your phone. In my case, I have typically 5 types of cryptocurrency invested. I can see fluctuations where you can see somebody goes into, let's say, Cardano, and they go in there, and you can tell that somebody put a big amount of money in within an hour period. You can see it puff, 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 and their value goes up. And then literally an hour and a half later, boom, all of a sudden it drops. Somebody just cashed in by deliberately pumping up the market and putting chunks of investment in. One person can make a difference on a cryptocurrency and drive up the price and then make a profit and sell it all at once. That's sometimes how it happens because it's a much smaller market overall than the stock itself, or the stock market or the bond market on a worldwide basis. It's a ride. Now, there is also a thing out there called stable coins, and I'll talk more detail about it later on, talk some of the different types of stable coins later on in this course. Stable coins are cryptocurrencies that have the market value tied to an external indicator. Basically, they want to tie it to a fiat currency. Recall that a fiat currency is the stuff that we normally put inside of a wallet or a purse. It's the money that we have from the government. In our case, it's insured by the Federal Reserve System in the United States. So it's paper money, and we call it fiat currency. So stable coins, they try to tie their value to fiat currency. So when you have a $1 stable coin and the US dollar are the same, that's exactly right. You may have a dollar and 2 cents or $1.05 stable coin. They try to keep it within the exact amount and do some adjusting to try to keep it there. But the reality is sometimes it doesn't always work because it's still cryptocurrency. We even have one case where Terra USD went belly up because of the fact that it just couldn't handle the aspect of the market and just lost all its value. And if you had Terra USD, all of a sudden you found that you had a zero in your account by the time you're done because that's what happened to it. So sometimes it doesn't always work how they plan. So cryptocurrencies, they have a low return correlation with traditional financial assets. Bitcoin doesn't store value like gold does because really Bitcoin is based upon emotions, feelings. Bitcoin in this case is proof of work, but the reality of it really comes down to is that you don't have a stock that you can say, well, General Motors went up and they just came out with this new line, so therefore I've invested and I'm a part owner of General Motors. No, it doesn't quite work that way with Bitcoin or any kind of crypto. Stable coins are crypto currencies, but they're tied to fiat currency usually. Yeah. Anyway, on the crypto ride, there are 4 reasons that I believe that cryptocurrency will continue into the long-term future. Number one, blockchain. It really is the third generation of the internet. Right now, we're probably on the end of the second generation of the internet. Blockchain, I believe, because of the fact it's built upon data that's all one block and it's glued into a continuous chain, I think it's trusted, it's unfilterable, it's uncensorable, it's open, the whole world can see it. I think blockchain truly is the wave of the future for all information. It's a good way for a corporation to keep records. They can have their own personal blockchain, but that way it's almost hack-proof in every single aspect of it. It's a brilliant way to save information. I believe blockchain is the future of the internet. Second, there's a thing called smart contracts, and we'll talk about that at length. Smart contracts is code written into the blockchain that executes the term of an agreement. If this happens, click, then the switch turns and this happens automatically. This happens, another switch turns, boom, that transaction happens automatically. You have all that, so no matter what happens, the contract is executed, and the smart contract all by itself will for certainly reduce the overall economic cost of a project by 20%, typically 30%, because it eliminates that third person, middle person that's in the middle, that's always got their hand out, taking part of the deal for themselves to make things happen that way. Smart contracts will eliminate that. Third, those enormous potential fluctuations, I think that we like it. I think there's an adrenaline rush on it. You know, people go to the casinos and they put money on whatever they do and everything else. They do that not because they're going to win. They hope they're going to win, but the reality is crypto is just about as wild as that. So crypto, it's quite a ride. The other one is New World Currency, the CFR, the Council on Foreign Relations, with all their past history and all the different aspect of it. It argues about the aspect that they're looking at cryptocurrencies as a democratizing force, and is wresting the power of money creation from the central banks and going back to the average person and taking it away, the power from Wall Street. There's a certain cool thing about making certain that all those middle people, the ones that have been getting rich off the average person, now all of a sudden they're excluded. And by the way, they're terrified and they're trying to get into crypto and control it as best they can. If they can't control it, they're going to get the governments to control it. But on the other part is a lot of criminals use cryptocurrency as well, and even terrorist organizations and rogue states. And so you have some truth in the aspect of the ride and so on, but really it's a way to get around the government. The four reasons that crypto, blockchain, smart contracts, those fluctuations, and global money, those are the reasons to come and ride the crypto roller coaster. Just don't put all your eggs in this basket. Make certain you're diverse in your investment portfolio, but overall, it's a fun way to ride. Take care.